Oh, it's, hold on. Got issues. Did it work? Did it work? Is it working? Haha. What's going on? Why is it locked? I'm so confused. I don't like that I can't. There. Hold on. I don't know what. Oh, that's not what I want to do. I'm so bad at this. I don't know why. Okay, so now that we're. I don't know what's going on. Hold on. I'm trying to get this live thing right, but you know. Okay, so if I turn it this way, I am still to the side. Oh my God. All right, y'all. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why this thing hates me. But you know what? We're going to do the best that we can. And I guess it's going to be alive this way. It's going to be one of those. I've got like my light all fucked up on this side. And I don't know. I don't know, you guys. Hold on. Let me set this up. Okay. So that's going to stay there for now as we have technical difficulties. You don't know how bad this retrograde has been for me. Y'all have no idea. It has been brutal. Okay, so today we're just gonna get into it while I fiddle with this and while there's trucks outside that want to ruin my life. No, they don't. They really don't go hand in hand. I don't know what's going on. But you know what? We're going to work with it. It's fine. Things happen. Whatever. Here we go. So, hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I decided to go live because I didn't have a video for you. And like I said, the retrograde has been... Whew, and I don't even know if I believe in the retrograde 100%, but I want to blame it on something because literally... Story time, the first day of retrograde, I didn't even know that it was happening because I don't keep up with astrology. But the first day, I was driving on the highway and my back tire blew. And like when I stopped and was able to pull over, there was no tire left on, there was no tire left. And so, yeah, it was just like, it started from there. And then, basically I've had the transportation magic video I've been trying to get that video out since the mid of January. So yes, I have been trying to get the transportation magic video out since January before I went to Hawaii. Ridiculous. And what happened the first time was that I had it all recorded. I was almost done completely editing it. Like, it was almost finished. And the audio, it was my fault, but the audio files, I accidentally overwrote them, which I've never done before. So I was like, dang it. So it took me another month to re-record the video and put it up. And then when I finally started editing it, it was 2 days ago that Alex spilt water on my computer. And so, and for some reason I wasn't like terrified, but I was like, that sucks. So, my computer is fried and, I actually had to go out and bite the bullet and buy a new one because that's my job now. Like, I don't go to any other than teaching pole. This is how I pay rent and, you know, get groceries. So I was kind of like, I have to go buy a new computer. Yeah, so I did that. And I don't know what it is in the universe that is telling me that it does not want me to, oh, hi from Scotland. I want to go to Scotland. Oh my gosh. I do not know if it's like the universe or spirit or whatever that is making sure that I do not get this transportation video out. I don't know what it is, but somebody is straight up like not about it. let's see. Sorry, I'm reading. I've got 2 chat rooms open right now, so if I like shut down for a second, that's why. But yeah, so I have other videos out that I think are a little more important than transportation magic. I do think that that's eventually a video I want to get out, but I do hope that, you know, I can get that out eventually, but there's something else that I feel like I want to talk about. But anyway, we've already wasted 5.5 minutes of your time. We're going to get straight into the actual topic of this video. There are rules down below in the description, so if you could look those over really quick. I do have some wonderful moderators, so they will be answering some of the questions that go in there as well. But yes, let's see. So my thing, this is going to be a little bit of a tough love video as well. I don't want anybody to feel bad for anything. I get a lot of questions. So where do I even start with this? There is so much importance in your basics when you're practicing the craft. My hair looks nice. Thank you. That's really nice of you. There is so much importance when it comes to the craft in your basics, in your foundations. I have people messaging me and, you know, trying to ask me, they're trying to like launch their ass in the astral already, and they don't even know how to like cleanse and protect themselves. And I'm like, you can't do that. It's just sorry, I'm still a little sick, but you can't do that. You can't just like shoot yourself in the astral and think that without protection and without grounding yourself and without, you know, all of these other things, that doesn't work. So little bit of tough love for you, especially you newbies out there. You need your foundations. You need to know how to cleanse. You need to know how to ground. You need to know your protections. You need to have a daily practice. Whatever that might look like to you, it needs to be solid. So, you know, if you're wanting to do all this neat and interesting work, I don't know why I said neat and interesting. I mean, it's not like the foundations are not neat and interesting, but for some reason there's this idea that complex equals more powerful, when that's really not the case at all. It's really not. I have found the more simplistic a spell is, the more simplistic a ritual is, the more powerful it tends to be, just because your intent and your energy is focused so much easier on one solid intention and manifestation. And that is really important. So the first thing I want y'all to learn is cleansing, grounding, and protecting. Those are the 3 things that I hope that you can feel so solid in that you can just do it wherever you are. And so let's start with grounding. I think whether you're witchy or not, grounding is really, really important, because grounding is basically the act of coming back within yourself. It's being present. It's understanding where you are in the present moment instead of worrying about the past or the future. So it's essentially just kind of meditation. It's being mindful. But also grounding is feeling like connecting to the rest of the energies of the universe, of the world, or whatever you are trying to tap into. And so, so grounding, there's so many different ways to do this. I'm not going to linger too much on it because it's really easy to find if you just kind of like Google it really quick. But grounding, there's meditations to do it. Grounding is really important to do. Some say before a spell. Personally, I think it's really important to do after a spell, because if you're ground before a spell, you kind of come back into the physical realm. So grounding is going to, it's going to, like, you can meditate, and the way I like to do it is when you're meditating, you visualize roots from yourself going into the earth and rooting yourself into the earth and connecting yourself to the earth and the rest of the energies. And that's a really good way to ground. After you do a spell or a ritual, it's recommended to eat something either sweet or salty. You can drink tea or drink like a cup of coffee, or, you know, like do something mundane and like come back from the spiritual energy realm all the way back down to the physical realm, and that is grounding. And that's a really important thing, because I think a lot of people think that witchy people are always like up here, and I mean, we are a lot of the time, but it's really important to understand that we are still part of the physical realm. And if you're always up here and you're never down here, then there's so much of the physical realm that you're missing. Like there's magic in the physical realm. That's how we are able to manifest and do those things. So yeah, so that's grounding. Let's see, cleansing. Some of y'all aren't cleansing, and I know it, and I know some of y'all aren't cleansing, because you come to me and you're like telling me all these things, and I'm like, did you cleanse? And you're like, no. I'm like, well, maybe that's why. So, cleansing. Think of spiritual cleansing as physical cleansing. Okay, are you just gonna like run around and not take a shower and not wash your hands and wait until you are filthy to clean yourself? No. Okay? You need to clean yourself physically and spiritually. And so that's, I think, a really big part of just like a daily practice. So even when you're just showering for the day, whether that's in the morning or at night or whatever, visualize all of the spiritual nastiness or whatever, or any unwanted energy, any negative energy brushing off of you. You can use a specific soap that you've enchanted or blessed. It really, there's a lot of different ways to cleanse. You can smoke cleanse yourself. There's so many different ways. I personally like to cleanse like my space and my altar and my tools, and do like deep cleansing, like every new moon, because it's a really good way of like banishing all those things. But don't wait until it builds up. Why are you going to wait until it builds up when things get worse and then you feel worse? Like, just keep yourself cleansed. And instead of doing a big cleansing and trying to move all of this heavy energy, until after it builds up, why don't you just clean it out? It's like doing the dishes. Right? Like, are you going to leave them in the sink until they build up and it's just this pile and it's just nasty and gross and you're going to have to spend a whole hour cleaning dishes? Or are you just going to clean your dishes as you make them? So once you finish a meal, you're going to go over, clean the dish, put it away. And so that is good spiritual hygiene. Cleansing is so important. Now, this is another thing, is then some people will be like, oh, I'm really good at cleansing, but I have all these spirits like all up on my butt. Maybe not on your butt, but like all up in my place. And like, they're really loud. They're talking to me, or they're moving around my stuff, or, people are, I keep getting like mini cursed, or, the evil eye is affecting me. Why? I keep cleansing myself. Well, it's great. And I think you should be cleansing yourself. That's awesome. But why would you cleanse all your space and then leave your door open? Things are just going to come back in. Now you have this nice open area that you just cleansed, and all this energy is just welcome in. No. Protect. Cleansing and protecting are best friends. Okay? Cleansing and protecting are best friends. You need to cleanse your space and then protect it from all of the unwanted energy that you don't want entering your space, that you don't want entering your energy, that you don't want affecting your spell work, yourself, the people around you, or your space. Okay? So after you cleanse, protecting is right after. You do not sit down and watch Netflix after you cleanse. You need to protect your space. Okay? Give me 1 sec. BRB. Okay, I'm back. So, cleansing and protecting. That's where I was. That's where I was. You need to cleanse everything's cleansed, and then protect, right? So protecting can look like a lot of different things. This is the thing. A lot of people are using sage. That's fine. You know, if you're getting it from an ethical source and you're saging, sage is like a spiritual bleach. Okay, it does not just get rid of the negative. It does not just get rid of Kate and I was talking more as in like a metaphorical door, not like a physical. I mean, you know, it was more of an example. But cleansing, or I lost my place. Hold on. So sage is kind of like it's a spiritual bleach. Once you sage a place, it gets rid of both the negative and the positive. Thank you, Tracy. Negative and the positive. It's going to clear out everything. So it's really important to fill that space back up with the energy that you want, which is why if you are doing a space cleansing, a lot of the time I like to use music. Music is an amazing way of filling the space with a specific type of energy, and I love to use that. Or you can burn something afterwards. You can burn something like rosemary or frankincense or dragon's blood, depending on what you need. But once you've cleansed that place, whether that be with sage or not, you need to protect it. So protecting, I mean, again, you can fill the space with a protective smoke or a smoke herb. You can set up protection wards. You can use a floor wash. You can, there's a lot of different ways, right? So protecting, you can also wear certain amulets. You can have rings or bracelets, necklaces. You can put sigils on yourself or in your area. Protection, really, really, really important. You are not launching yourself in the astral or in the spirit realm without some protection, okay? Because just like in the physical realm, there are amazing things, but there are also things that are ill-willed. So you just need to make sure that you're protected, right? So those are our basics of grounding, cleansing, and protecting, okay? We're going to move into more of like a daily practice. So a daily practice is really, really important. Because this is where you practice over and over every single day, because it's called a practice for a reason. And this could mean anything for anybody. I mean, maybe you have certain deities or spirits that you make offerings to. And I'm not saying make offerings to them every single day, but it should be an ongoing relationship, right? Same thing with your altar. It should be an ongoing relationship. You should have a relationship with your altar, right? And you should have that connection with your altar or that connection with yourself. Maybe you pull a card every single day. Maybe you do a reading to connect with ancestors, spirits, whatever. Maybe you meditate for 5 to 10 minutes every day. You have to have a daily practice. And even if that means you are putting that daily practice into your daily routine that you already have, that's the way I do it. I'm busy, you know, I work all the time, but that I have to find place for my daily practice. So I will meditate in the morning or at night or work that in somehow. Some of my friends will do it as their morning yoga or whatever. You can journal. You can do readings, you know, and I mean, it's not something that has to be this like witchy thing that you do every day. It's literally just when you take a shower, you cleanse yourself, you know, it's just really small things. I enchant my coffee or my tea every morning. So depending on what I feel like I need that day, I can enchant it for X, Y, and Z, or choose a different kind of tea or choose coffee over tea or whatever. And that is a really great way because you're literally starting your day with intentions, right? So it doesn't have to look like this super witchy thing every single day. You know, it can be something super simple that doesn't take an hour or 3 hours or something that you have to plan, you know. You can even sit outside for a little bit and ground yourself. You can hang out in the sun. You can just gaze at the moon. And it's just like coming back to yourself and reminding yourself why you're doing things, what you're doing it for, if you have any plans coming up, like when you make this a daily thing, when you create it to be more of a lifestyle than something that you force yourself to do or something that you do only out of need, that's going to be a huge game changer, right? Like if people are only going to their spirits, going to their deities, casting spells only when they are in a huge debt or when they're like needing something, when they feel like they're lacking something, when that is the only time that they're using their practice, it works, but you're going to see this like massive shift in your manifestations, in your life, when you start adding those little steps. There's a fly flying around my head, and I'm going to lose it. But go away. Go away. I'm busy. But yeah, so those things are really, really important. And it's the same thing if you do work with deities, if you do work with spirits, ancestors, spirit guides, whatever. Leaving offerings for them should not really only just be when you need something from them, right? Like you want a relationship with these spirits. You want an actual relationship that is not, that's not only when you need something. Because think of, like if you go to, like if somebody comes to you only when they need something, maybe that's fine with you, but that's not going to be a meaningful relationship. You're not going to give that person 110% of your energy or your effort because you know that they're only going to go to you when they need something, and it's not an ongoing relationship. They don't just spend time with you to spend time with you. They're not, you don't have like a good connection, right? So, yeah, like I think keeping that up, and offerings doesn't have to be you have to buy all these things and like give your spirits all these things or whatever. Like an offering can be sitting and meditating with them for 5-10 minutes. That's it. It can be a glass of water that you set out. Maybe every week you have a coffee date or a tea date with them, and you pour yourself tea and you make another cup of tea and you set that out for them as well. It doesn't have to be these like big elaborate things. I think that's a really big thing that a lot of beginners believe, is that once you are trying to do something witchy, it has to be like this huge thing, when in reality it's just having a relationship with them. And even so I find dimes, right? I find dimes everywhere, and that's how I know that my spirits are like, you got it, like that's kind of like them interacting with me. That's a really big piece for me, is when somebody's like, when I see a dime, and these dimes will show up in places that like all of a sudden I'll find a dime in a shoe that I've been wearing. I don't know how that dime got there, but it's there. I'll find dimes, like I don't carry change with me, and there's like dimes in pockets of mine of like pants that I wore yesterday, so when I see these dimes, I will audibly say thanks, or I'll respond. Like if I was thinking about something and I find that dime, I will respond like audibly. You don't have to, sometimes I won't do it like if Alex is in the room, because then he'll be like, what? But you want to make sure that you are sending that of like, oh, hey, I see you and I appreciate you. You want to talk back and forth with them. You want to have that relationship. And like I said, you don't have to, but your manifestations and your spell work and your daily practice, you're going to see such a boost when you do. But yeah, so that is kind of like my whole rant. I just want y'all to know that these foundations, if you do not have these foundations, your craft is going to be a little wobbly. Okay? Kevin, let me text Kevin back, because Kevin, sorry about that. I gotta text my friend Kevin. Sorry, gotta. Oh, hey, you're not, but you're not the Kevin, but you are a Kevin. All right. Where was I? But basics. Y'all need your basics. Do not lack on your basics. Because when you're doing spell work, you need to cleanse. You need to protect. Afterwards, you need to ground, right? These things are going to be so important. And then your daily practice is going to boost your spell work, going to boost your manifestation. So keep those foundations in mind. Keep those nice and strong. And I would like to end this this live stream, but I'm going to first show you a little like mini test tarot deck that I got from Cosmic Keys, because it's not a full deck. It's like 10 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards. Look at these. Hold on, let me spread them out pretty. There we go. Look. Aren't these pretty? Yeah. And they're like thicker. They're like cardstock. And I usually don't actually like actual photos on tarot cards, but they did really well with editing the photos and having like a consistent color scheme, which made them look a lot prettier. So I'll go through each one. I only have 10, like I said, but here's the Page of Pentacles. Right? I've got the Ace of Pentacles. I have the Empress. That one's really pretty. I like that one a lot. Ace of Wands. I have the Hanged Man. The Two of Cups. And I like this one. I like a lot because of the two snakes, and the chalices they chose really well. I love that one a lot. I have the High Priestess. I have the Fool, which has a really cute dog on it. I have Strength. And the Magician. And so those are the only cards that they sent me. It's just like a little test deck. But this deck is from Cosmic Keys. So I'll add that in the link or in the description below. It's not there now, but I'll add that after I finish this live. But Cosmic Keys, it's a podcast. It's a spiritual podcast. They also have a Instagram, so it's just at Cosmic Keys. I think it's at Cosmic Keys Podcast. And they're two really sweet people. Scarlett is one of the co-hosts, and she actually has a YouTube channel here. It's Scarlett Ravenwood. She's papery ones. I think that they just don't hold up. I just don't like the way they feel. So these ones are really cool. I like them all. It kind of reminds me of the Golden Thread Tarot, if you've ever seen that one. But yeah, so hey, good luck on your prosperity spell, Erin. But yeah, these are really cool. I'm gonna probably add these. I think these are gonna be more of like, I guess, like I'm gonna ask a question and then maybe pull a card, and then I can like pull cards from another deck. But these are really cool, and I can use these in spell work. So I think that's another video I'd really like to make, is doing spell work and doing spells with tarot cards, because that's kind of cool. But yeah, so I just wanted to explain really quick. I mean, it's not really quick, it's like a 30-minute video, but I would just like to explain really quick about the importance of your foundations, the importance of cleansing and grounding and protecting in your craft, and keeping that up. And I know that sometimes there's just points in your life that you just don't, you can't keep it up. I mean, not that can't, but like there's like slumps, you know? And if you're an artist of any kind, I know that you'll know that creative motivation kind of goes like this in your life, right? It just kind of goes like up and down and up and down. And sometimes you'll be like so creative and you have all these ideas, and then you'll just be like killing it. And then all of a sudden it's like down here and you feel like you have no ideas and you feel like you're not creative and you are in this slump. Like you can't even put the pen to your paper and like get anything out. So don't feel bad if there are weeks or even like a few months that you feel like you can't get motivated or like you don't feel like you're doing it right. You know, I don't want you to feel like that is something that you should be ashamed of, because at the end of the day, it might just be, when I feel like I'm in a slump, a lot of the time it's really just a reminder to go back to the foundations. And I know that you're like, oh my God, Olivia, foundations, I get it. But like, you don't understand how important they are. Once you understand the importance, everything else is going to fall. Like once you understand the importance and you get a solid footing in your foundation, everything else is going to be so much easier to maneuver. Just trust me, right? So that's it. Yeah, that is it. So you know, when you are in a slump, when you're in a spiritual slump, and that's how you feel, go back to your basics. Meditate for 2 minutes. You know, don't feel like you need to be like, oh man, I need to sit down for an hour and meditate and like do a whole guided meditation and like meet my spirit guides and do readings every day and like try to make a spell. No, you're gonna burn yourself out. That, you know, I've been there. I tried to do that and it doesn't work. Meditate 2 minutes, 5 minutes, grow it, keep it slow, journal about it, right? And if you're feeling like you want to cast something but you don't know what to cast protection. Do a cleansing, ground, you know? And a last tip that I want to throw at you is, if you feel like you want to do protection or you feel like you might need a little bit of protection around you, that's a big sign that you do. And I just think general protection is better than needing to clean up a mess, right? Preventative magic is going to be the most effective magic. If I want to keep my money, right? If I'm like, oh, I have $1,000 in my bank, which is, I guess, not a lot for an adult, but I just got $1,000 in my bank and I want to make sure that I don't lose it in any way. I don't want to get tickets. I don't want like an unexpected bill of any kind, you know? So I'm going to cast a spell to prevent any unwanted loss of money. And that's going to be way more effective than waiting till I might lose that money and be casting spells to get this money back or to like need something, you know? So you want to prevent a problem before you have to be casting to fix it. It's just so much easier. It's going to cost you a lot less money for supplies if you use supplies. It's going to cost you a hell of a lot less time and energy, you know? And I just want you to understand that preventative magic is so much better than emergency magic. All right? So protection, if you feel like you might need a little bit of that, do it. Charge some crystals, light a protection candle, right? Do some sigils on yourself or in your space. Yeah, I think that's, oh, hi from Alaska. Hi, James. I think that's a really important thing. Did I just read your life right now? I just feel like people need that, you know? I think protection's important. But, oh, thank you, Rafa. I appreciate that. May you find 10 times that in the next week. May that come back to you 10 times. yeah, so that's kind of just what I wanted to drop by in and say. Please do focus on those foundations. And like I said, if you're in a slump, that probably just means to go back to those foundations, start small. Don't put so much pressure on yourself to be this idea of what you think you need to be doing. Okay? But that is going to be my live stream for today. I have a couple of meetings that I have to get into and all that jazz. But thank you so much for joining me in this live. I will have an actual video out as soon as I can, once I can hopefully recover all of my files from the other computer, and we'll see how that goes. But the only way to go is up, right? So, and forward. So I'm gonna do my best to get some videos out as quick as I possibly can. And if nothing else, I will see you next week, next Wednesday, with another video. But other than that, that's it. So yeah, you guys have a good rest of your week, day, morning, night, wherever you are. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. And as always, best of luck. Be kind to each other, and may your gods treat you as you've treated others. Bye.